The tennis world is still buzzing from the shockwaves of Wimbledon. A 21-year-old from the Philippines had walked on his center court and done the unthinkable. She had dethroned the defending champion, Iga Swiatek, in a performance that left the tennis establishment gasping for air. Alex Eala had become the first Filipino singles player to reach the fourth round of a Grand Slam. She had climbed to a career-high world number 28. She had become a national hero, celebrated by presidents and adored by millions. But then came the reality check. Because when Eala stepped onto center court to face Jasmine Paolini in the round of 16, something went terribly wrong. The serve that had baffled Swiatek was suddenly exposed. The lefty advantage that had been her greatest weapon was nowhere to be found. And the tennis world watched as Eala's historic run came to a heartbreaking end in 3 sets. And one woman was watching more closely than anyone else. Martina Navratilova, the 18-time Grand Slam singles champion, the woman who dominated tennis like few others before or since, the left-handed legend who knows exactly what it takes to succeed, had something to say. And what she said has left fans stunned, confused, and desperately searching for answers. Her serve. It's too much of a puffball. The words hit the tennis world like a thunderbolt. A puffball. A soft, harmless shot that could be attacked and exploited by any player who knew what they were doing. Navratilova pointed out that Eala can hit serves at 105 miles per hour, but was settling for 80 or 85. She called for a grip change, more use of the lefty advantage, and a completely different serving strategy. For a lefty, this is crazy, Navratilova said. The tennis world is divided. The fans are furious. And at the center of it all stands a young woman who has just been given the most valuable advice of her career from the most decorated champion in tennis history. Welcome to RallyVerse. To understand why Martina Navratilova's advice has caused such a stir, you have to understand who she is. She's the most successful tennis player of the Open era. 18 Grand Slam singles titles, 31 Grand Slam women's doubles titles, 10 Grand Slam mixed doubles titles, a combined 59 major championships, 167 WTA titles, a record that may never be broken. She dominated the sport during the 1970s and 1980s, reigning as the world number 1 in both singles and doubles. Inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame in 2000, she is universally regarded as one of the greatest athletes of all time. When Martina Navratilova speaks, the tennis world listens. And she's been watching Alex Eala very closely. During Wimbledon 2026, Navratilova served as an analyst for Tennis Channel and the BBC. She watched Eala's historic run unfold in real time. The victories over Renata Zarazua, Maya Joint, and the stunning upset of defending champion Iga Swiatek. She witnessed the Filipina sensation become the first player from her country to reach the 4th round of a Grand Slam. She saw the nation of 110 million people come to a standstill as their daughter competed on the biggest stage in tennis. But she also watched Eala's run come to an end. A 3-set loss to Jasmine Paolini in the round of 16. A match where Eala's serve, the very weapon that had baffled Swiatek, was exposed. And Navratilova had something to say about it. Something that would send shockwaves through the tennis world and leave fans wondering what the legend had told the young Filipina before the U.S. Open. So what exactly did Martina Navratilova tell Alex Eala? The advice was blunt, direct, and absolutely devastating in its honesty. Her serve. It's too much of a puffball, Navratilova said on Tennis Channel. The words hit the tennis world like a thunderbolt. A puffball. A soft, harmless shot that could be attacked and exploited by any player who knew what they were doing. Navratilova pointed out that against Swiatek, Eala's serve had worked, but not because it was powerful. Swiatek didn't handle it well, she acknowledged. But Paolini did. She was attacking the second serve. The Italian had figured out what Swiatek could not. That Eala's serve was a weakness waiting to be exposed. Then came the most shocking revelation of all. Even the first serve was like 80, 85. She can hit at 105, but she doesn't, Navratilova said. The Filipina star, who stands tall enough to generate significant power, was holding back. She had the capability to hit serves at 105 miles per hour, but was settling for 80 or 85. A massive, untapped weapon that was being seized. The advice went beyond just speed. Navratilova called for a fundamental technical overhaul. She needs to change the grip and use the leftiness more. She was not slicing, Navratilova added. The left-handed advantage, one of Eala's greatest natural assets, was not being fully utilized. Instead of using the slice serve to pull opponents wide and open up the court, Eala was hitting most of her serves to her opponent's forehand, not the backhand. She was hitting most of her serve to the Paolini forehand, not the backhand with a slice, Navratilova observed. So the serve is where she can gain the most, because she's tall enough. Her serve should be as good, if not better than Paolini, because Paolini is shorter. The message was clear. Alex Eala had the physical tools to develop an elite serve, but she needed to believe in herself, commit to the technical changes, and start using her left-handedness to its full potential. Navratilova didn't just identify the problem. She provided a roadmap for the solution. She emphasized that Eala already possesses many of the qualities needed to succeed at the highest level. She's crafty. She's a good lefty. She uses her variety nicely, Navratilova said. The foundation is there. The instincts are there. The tactical awareness is there. But the serve, the most important shot in tennis, needs to become a weapon rather than a liability. Navratilova's specific recommendations were technical and precise. A grip adjustment, a change in the wrist and throwing position, more slice on the serve, particularly to the backhand side, and crucially a mental shift. I think where she can improve the most is her serve, or make it pay off more. She needs a bigger serve and bigger kick. She's got the slice down pat. Just believe and hold her ground, Navratilova advised. The advice came with empathy for Eala's physical limitations. She is slight of build, so it's harder for her to absorb all that pace, Navratilova acknowledged. But she didn't let that become an excuse. But I think she can beef up a little and punch up that serve. Navratilova was also baffled by Eala's tactical decisions during the Paolini match. The BBC posted a graphic showing that Eala was hitting only 33% of her serves out wide on the advantage side, and only 37% down the tee when on the deuce side. For a lefty, this is crazy, Navratilova said. She is serving so much more out wide in the deuce court and tee and ad court. Only a third of her serves are slices to the backhand, particularly in the ad court. I don't understand that. She is not using her leftiness to her advantage nearly as much as she can. Greg Rosetsky, the former British #1 and 15-time ATP champion, echoed Navratilova's assessment. The serve does need to become a weapon where she can get the first strike in after the serve, Rosetsky said. She has the knowledge of how to mix it, but she needs a bit more accuracy and a bit more power, and that will come in time. The consensus among tennis legends was clear. Eala's serve is the key to unlocking her full potential. Fix that, and a Grand Slam title becomes not just a possibility, but an inevitability. But here's the twist that makes this story so fascinating. Eala's serve, the very shot that Navratilova called a puffball, was the same shot that had completely baffled IGA Swiatek on center court. The world #3 had been utterly unable to handle it, and Swiatek herself revealed just how difficult it was. I think it was tougher mentally for me to accept these missed returns from the slow serves, Swiatek said after her defeat. I gotta say it's much tougher to return a serve like that than a normal serve. I know it was slow. I know exactly how it's going to come to me. It's such a different rhythm than what I usually have a chance to return. The paradox is extraordinary. A serve that Navratilova calls a weakness was the very weapon that defeated one of the greatest players in the world. A serve that needs a grip change and more leftiness was the shot that made Swiatek look ordinary. But here's the thing, and this is what Navratilova understood immediately. What worked against Swiatek would not work against everyone. Paolini figured out. She attacked the second serve. She read Eala's patterns, and she exposed a weakness that Swiatek, for whatever reason, could not. Navratilova's advice isn't about tearing Eala down. It's about building her up. It's about transforming a serve that can be effective against some opponents into a serve that can dominate against everyone. It's about taking a 21-year-old with immense potential and giving her the tools to reach the very top of the sport. Because if Eala can fix her serve, if she can add 20 miles per hour, if she can use her lefty advantage more effectively, if she can develop a slice that pulls opponents wide, she won't just be a threat to win a Grand Slam. She'll be the favorite. So, where does this leave us? Alex Eala has received the most valuable advice of her career from the greatest champion in tennis history. Martina Navratilova has identified the one area where the Filipina star can improve the most: her serve. The technical changes are clear. The roadmap is there. The potential is limitless. But here's the question that everyone is asking. Will she listen? Eala has always been a player who learns from criticism. She has spoken about the importance of having a strong support system and the value of advice from experienced champions. Her team, including her coaches at the Rafa Nadal Academy, has done an excellent job of getting her to this point. The U.S. Open begins on August 30th in Flushing Meadows, New York. Eala has 3 tune-up tournaments to work on her serve before the year's final Grand Slam begins. She will compete in the Wimbledon DC Open from July 27th to August 2nd, the National Bank Open in Toronto from August 1st to 13th, and the Cincinnati Open from August 8th to 23rd. She will also participate in the Stars of the Open exhibition match on August 27th. The hard courts of North America favor players with big serves. If Eala can develop hers in time, she could be a genuine threat to win it all. Eala herself is approaching the U.S. Open with characteristic maturity. I don't have a specific round in the U.S. Open that I say, oh, Kaling and Kong Abu Tinido. The way I approach tournaments, I'm match by match, round by round, she said. I do want to get as far as I possibly can. Of course, the ultimate goal is to win, right? But I take it round by round. From the cracked courts of Quezon City to world number 28. From being overlooked for tournaments to being called the biggest draw in women's tennis. From being told she couldn't do it to standing on the brink of a Grand Slam seed. Alex Eala has defied every expectation. And now, with the advice of a legend ringing in her ears, she stands on the precipice of something truly special. Laban lang. Always. And remember, on RallyVerse, we bring you the stories that define the sport. The drama, the advice, the moments that change everything. Stay tuned for more.